Oh my God, that was so much fun.
She looks so amped up right now.
It was so cool.
Isn't it so cool? I tell you we're gonna have a good time. I told you. It's fun. Isn't
You
this
made
so
it
fun?
so much fun.
We try. We try.
That was
Hello, guys. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I'm your host, Stephanie,
Andre?
and this is Table for Four, a family conversation podcast. It has been forever, but do not feel sad. We're back. We're doing things slowly but surely. We have been busy. You want to give the people an update? Like life has been life.
Life is life and business is getting there.
Yeah.
We're expanding. We went from podcasting to video editing and now doing photos and video for events.
Yes. So it's all good things, but we have been keeping busy. But we are here today because we have an awesome guest that we've been trying to get in touch with for a while because you know why? Because she's been busy herself. So I'm glad we had the opportunity to come and have her onto the podcast. And we're going to be talking about some great stuff today. And we're going to quickly introduce her. Her name is Natasha, and she is a fertility nurse and the founder of Fertility 411, where she helps women and couples navigate everything from egg freezing to IVF and having a real talk and having compassion with those conversations. After years of working in the fertility world, Natasha has shown how this process, even though it can be overwhelming, it can be something that it's become her mission to really break down all the ways of understanding and making it more approachable through this coaching business. And, she's especially passionate. She's an RN, so she's after my heart. And, it's her job to really break down the stigmas in certain communities, especially the people of color, because that's something that, people might not understand that infertility affects all. So I'm just so happy that we're able to welcome her today. And welcome to the show, Natasha.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, what's up?
Nothing much, just here chilling, waiting for you guys, waiting for this to happen. Months in the process. So
Oh my God, it makes me sound like I made you wait.
it's worth the
No,
wait.
not at
Feels like
all. No, but Natasha, it's such a pleasure for you to be on this podcast with us today. And we're going to dig in deep today because I think, again, with the purpose of this podcast, we have this great opportunity to speak to people in all different fields to kind of, have a better understanding and how families work and how families function. And fertility is one of them, and that's how we are able to start families. So I would love to learn a little bit about your background. I know I did some excellent stuff in the bio, but it's something that you gave me, so I just
So I have been in the fertility world for about maybe 8, 9, 10 years now. I started off from the bottom, worked my way up. So when I first started, I was doing prior authorizations. Then I got bored with that. Then I went into the finance world, and then I understood like the insurances and what it took to get approved and the things and the verbiage that was needed behind it in order to get an IVF cycle covered, an IUI cycle covered, timed intercourse cycle covered. Then I went to nursing school, and then jokingly, I had asked a friend that I worked at a fertility clinic with, the first one that I worked with, if she knew someone that was hiring a nurse. And she was like, actually, yeah, here.
wow.
So the opportunity just came to me basically in a silver platter, wrapped up with a bow, and here I am 2 years later, fertility nurse now. So I kind of know every little aspect of fertility, from the finance portion, the insurance aspect of it, medications, everything, and even doing 2 cycles myself. So I really do know way too much.
You're fully vested.
Fully
Exactly.
invested. Yeah, but that's what it is. And I love the fact that you are able to educate us and educate our audience about the difficulties that can be around fertility. But before we get started, I want to know about your nursing school journey. As I am in my nursing school journey, I am almost done. Girl, I'm ready to be done. But I am so curious as how was your nursing school journey?
It was not fun. It was not fun. I wanted to quit. So, as you know, my cousin is Ansar. So I followed in his footsteps and my family's footsteps. I became an LPN, went to ViV, graduated through the pandemic, actually. So it was a horrible time. And then thereafter, what did I do? I went to school online. I went to Nightingale College. I kind of like dropped out of that program. So technically, right now, I'm balancing an LPN degree. And then I just applied to LaGuardia's program for their LPN to RM bridge program. So I am currently awaiting a response from them.
Oh,
Oh,
yay.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice. So again, you're busy. So
yes,
between that,
very.
working full time and doing this, I that's a lot on your plate. But I applaud you, and I'm so excited to listen to your story. So first off, your background in fertility. Tell us a little bit more about that. It's exactly a coaching business, you said, right? I just want to make sure I get the verbiage right.
So I did open up my own fertility coaching business because I think it was all stemming from and starting from when I worked in the finance field and the finance portion of it. I would see denials come in for patients of color, and it just felt like it wasn't right. It wasn't fair. And I do remember vaguely going into my finance supervisor's office and being like, how come there's no help? Why isn't there any help for the West Indian community or like people of color or anything like that? That's not fair. And I kept on saying it, just tears pouring down my eyes. And I was like, I just wish like someone would or could help out these people. Fast forward and fast track, becoming a nurse and seeing the amount of people that sit across from my desk crying because nobody told them. Nobody had a conversation with them. Nobody said, you know what, girl, you should go freeze your eggs at like in your 20s. And it's also something you're not thinking about doing. Why do it? It costs so much money. I don't need to. I don't want to get pregnant right now. And I hear it all the time. And then I really just sit down and speak with a younger crowd sometimes and just tell them, basically kind of my story. You just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what cards are going to unfold. You don't know if you're going to have a diminished ovarian reserve at a young age or if your AMH level is going to drop in the next few years. You just have no idea what's going to happen. And doing all of this stuff now at a young age is kind of like it's a cushion for just in case you do need to move forward at some point and have IVF as your backup plan. So that's basically the reason why I started Fertility 411. I was on the train and I was thinking about it and I was just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I have two options. I could just sit here and not do anything at all, not say anything to anyone and just keep on doing my 9 to 5, pushing it, whatever. Or I could start a platform. So I thought about it and I thought about it and then it came to me and I was just like, Fertility 411 sounds really catchy. Like, how am I going to help people? So then I started like a note in my phone and I wrote the things that I thought people should know about medication discount programs, grants that are available, medication mixing videos. I'm just writing everything. And I was like, I'm going to start a platform. I'm going to start something. I'm going to start making videos and talking about all of this stuff. And it can't just be focused towards like egg freezing patients. It can't just be focusing towards people that just want to make a family and have a family. I want to touch base about everything about like male sperm, PCOS, endometriosis, like all these things that we have in like the colored community and
Yeah,
people of
and then
color.
affects us in all different ways. Yeah.
Exactly. And nobody talks about it. So instead of just sitting back and doing nothing, I said, you know what? I have to be that person, not I want to. So that's what I did.
And I think that's another thing that I think when we spoke about it, like what sets your services apart from every other people in this same space? And I'm like, I don't really know many people that are in that same space that are
Exactly.
that serve the color community? Like it's just like I don't know how. I haven't seen it. So you're here. You
100%.
already here breaking
There's
barriers
no
already.
one. There's no one of color that has a platform that's speaking about these things.
Yeah.
Nobody, no one that I know of, not unless somebody comes forth and they're like, hey, I want to do a collab with you. That's perfect. I would
Right.
love to do that. But I don't know anyone. So I'm kind of just doing it on my own and like trying to help out as much as possible. And it's been good. It's been great. But I kind of had to push pause at a moment. But I had to do it. No one else is doing it. No one else is talking to like the communities that we need to reach out to.
Yeah. And I think the thing is like it's all about using your platform for both education and empowerment, because I feel like that's something that you would want to implement. So I think the other question would be like when you spoke about all the different aspects of cost and how insurances and things like that, like what are some of the hidden costs of fertility care? Like what like insurances? I get a little scared when I hear these things because I know insurances can be so complex just to cover just the minimum. So just getting into
Exactly.
that to cover, like, oof, I could just
So
imagine.
Just imagine
some
the
Yeah.
insurances, not all insurances, cover IVF, sometimes egg freezing, but it's just the verbiage, like you've mentioned. It's a foreign language. You don't
Oh yeah.
understand it, but I'm fluent in it. So I could tell you like the background and like what this basically says if you have coverage or if you don't. And then like another thing that people don't know is medications. Sometimes you have coverage for medications you don't even know. So you have that option of like obtaining an authorization if your clinic or your nurse or your coordinator person goes ahead and they just throw in an authorization to see if it gets approved. I want to say maybe 65 to 75% of the time I do that for my patients. And guess what? At least one medication is covered. And it's all about verbiage. It's all about, do I have that actual person that's going to have my back and have my side? That's what I do. And I can like decipher all of this stuff.
Wow. Like, so how are you able to guide the patients through all these different financial challenges? Because it's not only about how you said before, it's not only about medications and it's just about using the right verbiage and IDC 10 coding. And it's just like, how do you even like navigate through that and helping your clients and the patients through that?
So the process starts like this. Somebody reaches out to me and I do a one-on-one consultation with them. I have like my own paperwork and my own referral form that needs to be completed. Go through everything with them, find out what their history is, and then I ask for a picture of their insurance card. And I just need their name and their date of birth. And then I'll call the insurance myself because I know how to speak to them to find out if you have coverage or not. Find out their coverage, and then I'll let them know and be like, hey, guess what? This is great. You actually have egg freezing coverage, and that's awesome. And for example, you have Empire Government Plan. Guess what? You have medication coverage too. You have $50,000 to use, which is multiple,
nice.
multiple rounds
Multiple
if
rounds,
you want
right?
to do just egg freezing. So I actually had two people that I referred that had Empire Government and they didn't know that they had coverage, or maybe they did. One of them knew that they had coverage and they came to me. So I set everything up and then I give them a requisition to go have labs done. I ask them for their latest pap smear. They send me everything so that when they're ready to have a consultation done with the actual physician at maybe like the clinic that I work at, or if they have coverage with a specific provider group, they have everything in hand and they're just like, here,
We're
I
good to
already know
go.
what to expect. You need this blood work, it's already done. Pap smear already done.
Done.
So let's talk about my protocol. I go through what a typical protocol looks like. I go through the medications. I go through how to administer the medications with the patients one-on-one. And then once they're ready to go, they call on cycle day 1 of their menstrual cycle. They set up that appointment, and then I get a text message and they're like, hey, guess what? I got my ultrasound and blood work. I need to start this medication. I'm like, okay, cool. Remember, we spoke about this one and this one and this one, when to take it, where to take it, how to administer it. Keep me updated on how it goes. And then after the first injection, the second injection goes a little bit easier. The third injection is like a piece of cake. And then after that, guess what? they're good to go. So I keep in like I keep in touch with all of my patients throughout the entire cycle from start to finish. So like even the day before their retrieval, I'll text them, remind them that, hey, guess what? You're at the finish line. Everything is going well. This is what you're going to expect on the day of your retrieval. And
So that's like
then
it's a long process just from beginning to
it is a long process just
wow.
from the beginning. Yeah. It's I take that back. I retract that.
Okay.
It's it depends upon the person. It depends upon the person, and also depends upon like the protocol that the doctor picks. So I set you up.
Oh, it varies. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'll set you up so that you have everything, and then after that, say it's the beginning of the month now, right? You're going to get your period at the end of the month. Then you're going to actually start the protocol to start the hormones and stuff like that for 2 weeks. The actual egg freezing process is about maybe 10 to 12 days, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how
Wow.
long it takes to freeze, 10 to 12 days.
Yeah, to like start from starting of follicle stimulating hormones to the
Okay.
day of retrieval, it's about 10 to 12 days, give or take how long you're on the follicle stimulating hormones.
I'm
Like
thinking in my head, I'm like, wait a minute. It's
it
still
is.
complex to begin with. But just thinking about that whole process for couples, but like how does general health and like lifestyle affect fertility in that process as well? Like how does that affect?
So I've seen firsthand patients come forward and talk to me during a nursing consultation at my fertility clinic and be like, so I smoke weed or I smoke cigarettes. Do you think this is the reason why I can't get pregnant? And I'm like, maybe for the next 2 months or
Mm,
so, let's lay off of cigarettes and like all of the bad stuff that can harm your body. And let's do like a detox. Let's eat all healthy foods, no processed foods. Let's try to do that. Let's try to give yourself the best way
fighting chance.
possible
Yeah.
to go ahead and retrieve some healthy eggs. So lifestyle does kind of affect fertility, I want to say, in that it affects everything. It if you're smoking, drinking, eating not healthy food, it's going to affect like your entire body system anyways. So of course it would correlate with fertility.
So I
Correct.
think that's something so it's so important to understand that. But you mentioned that there was some stories that kind of um that stuck out on your mind. Did you want to discuss some of those stories that you might think that might be important to share, or if there was a situation you thought that was you needed to share, anything like that?
Yes, actually, my first Caribbean patient, I love her to death. Just call her Jane Doe. And so I had just started at this new fertility clinic and she flew up from Trinidad. So she was flying up for fertility treatment and it like hit my heart, it hit my soul because like she's part of the West Indian community and that like anytime I have like a West Indian patient, like my heart is always like a little bit bigger and like I want to go like a little bit more like out of my way to like help them. So she had her first positive beta, which was a great number. The number doubled, which is what we look for a viable pregnancy. And then she had her first OB scan. Everything looked great. Second OB by the second OB scan, which is 2 weeks after the first, no, 2 weeks after the second pregnancy test, she went down to Trinidad. So I'm like all happy, so ecstatic. She got her medical records. She was going to go follow up with the OBGYN down there. And then a month later or two, it was a month later, I got a text message from her and she told me how she had a miscarriage. My heart, like, I cried.
Oh
I
no.
cried because it hit that much
Oh,
harder that I was so close to her and we did everything that we possibly could and it just didn't work. And it hurt. It hurt. But got a message from her. I believe it was in September or October of this year, or maybe it was the beginning of January. I can't really remember. She ended up doing donor eggs. She went to India and had donor eggs, and she ended up having, I believe she might have had a surrogate as well, and she had a very beautiful baby girl.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so happy for her. I'm so ecstatic, and I my heart is just filled for her.
Wow. How do you handle these setbacks like with some of these patients? Like, you know, for patients that had these terrible losses, like how do you deal with that? Like I know it's easy to say it from like an RN's perspective, but like you said that from a person that, you know, that comes from your homeland and it's just like people that you really relate to. Like how does that like how do you handle that like these setbacks like that?
It's not easy. I make it look so easy and like calm, cool, collective, and I like collect my emotions, and I can't be emotional because then the patient would just be emotional as well. Like you have to be that support, you have to be that backbone. But then I go home and I cry.
Yeah.
I go home and I cry because at the end of the day, I'm human and I have
Yeah.
emotions, and I'm a very emotional person, and I'm very personable, and I'm very social. So it hurts. It hits home every single time. Every single time I have to call a patient to tell a patient, unfortunately, like the embryo didn't stick and your beta was negative, it hurts. It
Yeah.
hurts.
Yeah.
But then when I'm like, hey, your beta was positive and it was 150 as a first number, or anything above a 30 is great. Like I'm ecstatic. I'm so happy.
So that's the reward you get from. That's
Oh yeah.
probably the most
Oh
rewarding
yeah. Getting
part
the
It's that
news.
of
dopamine
the
rush.
work. Oh
It's
yeah.
it's a dopamine rush, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I wanna do this again. Who else is pregnant? Let's see."
Right? Let's go find us some lucky winners, you know?
Yeah, lucky numbers. Let's see.
Oh my god, but you know, I think it's man, it's so hard to kind of want to help develop these relationships and being able to speak to them and learn about their history and help them in that sense, but it's just like how do you balance that and with your own like self-awareness and like your own like your attachment because I know like I can see how it's so difficult. We go home and we cry, but sometimes we have to leave it at home. You know, I mean, leave it at work, and it's hard to bring you know work home with you. What do you do to kind of
Oh,
like yeah like
that's a hard one because
that's yeah I was gonna say like
I mean, if you talk to my family or if you talk to my friends, I bring that home.
yeah
And it's hard to separate work from home because it's not like working on a med surg unit, which I
it's not
worked in a med surg unit where, you're done with your 12-hour shift, you leave it there. You're going to have a next set of patients that are going to be rolling around your next shift. That doesn't happen with this. It's I'm with these patients from beginning to end, meaning discharge, and that's what I want. I want to discharge these patients with a beautiful pregnancy, and I want to get that email saying, hey Natasha, guess what, I delivered today, this is my baby boy, my baby girl, he was or she was 6 pounds 8 ounces and this and that. That's what I want to hear. Leaving work at work and home at home,
yeah
and
yeah
not bringing that together. So
yeah I
it's
That's
get
hard.
it.
difficult. It's
That's
not
a
easy.
yeah it's a difficult task but you know to be able to continue supporting your clients right that might have experienced loss and that might have experienced joy how do what do people need to know more when it comes to like conception health like what do they need to know because it's not just about your typical nuclear family right because I know like families all come in different shapes and sizes so like how do you approach each case differently and how do we like tell people like this is what it's you know this is what it is this is what we can look forward to and just like giving them the advice going forward
I would say going forward, the way that you approach like a fertility talk or a conception talk or preconception talk is just don't address it. Only on account of it's a little difficult. Talking about getting pregnant or being pregnant or holding a pregnancy is very difficult. But if someone that has been going through an IVF cycle or an egg freezing cycle per se, I know many girls who are going through multiple cycles, multiple
Mhm.
rounds. Ask about how they're feeling. That's like the first thing. Ask how they're feeling and how they're doing. Don't ask about anything else. They will go ahead and they will speak to you about how everything else is going. If any embryos are created, if PGT went well and they have any embryos to transfer, they will go ahead and they'll open up and you'll be that outlet for them. Same thing goes for egg freezers. I know quite a few of my patients that have done multiple rounds meaning like 3, 4, 5
Wow.
rounds to bank as many eggs as they can. So how I would approach a conversation about that is just asking them, what are your goals? What are your fertility goals? Like, how many children do you end up wanting to have in total? And how are your cycles going? How are the injections going every night? Because it's difficult. It is not easy. Like by day 6, day 7 of follicle stimulating hormones, you're bloated, you're so emotional, there's a bunch of mood swings that happen during the process. You're crying, like from a woman's perspective, like you're crying and it's sometimes unbearable. So just be just super supportive.
Andres, did you have a question?
I'm following you guys.
No
I'm
questions,
just
Andre?
I'm just saying. So, how long does the embryo take to freeze? Like from one, is it like 24 hours? Is it like once it goes into the freezer
Oh,
to the
it is
cryo
same
chamber?
day. It is like,
It's
so
like
we
same thing
do
like we do ice here is like overnight.
no,
I
okay.
mean, now I
Listen,
regret letting you ask the question now. We need to
is
cut
it
this,
like my
edit
Okay,
this
freezer?
so
out.
let's talk
Oh,
about some science.
Okay.
So,
science all day. Come on now.
yes. So we're gonna retrieve these eggs, right? These eggs are in this hand, and then we have some sperm. The sperm have to be good. So what we have is the andrologist, who's a person who specializes in sperm, go ahead and they look through a microscope through thousands of sperm, and they
Okay.
pick the very best ones. And then they hand it off to an embryologist. The embryologist goes ahead and with a very small pipette with a little spike needle injects it into that beautiful egg. And what we want to see happen is cells multiplying. Cells multiplying means, guess what? A great fertilization.
Yeah.
So after that, it's basically put into kind of like a petri dish and it's set for incubation. So the following day, the embryology team goes ahead and takes a look at that embryo to make sure that the cells are multiplying and it's looking beautiful. And then they leave it alone and they set it aside in like an incubator type of thing. 3 days later, they'll take a look to make sure that those embryos are multiplying as well. The cells are multiplying again, and then they leave it alone. And then between days 5 and 6, depending upon how well the cells are multiplying, they will take them out and they will freeze it. They will freeze it on day 5
Oh,
or day
wow.
6. And fun fact, between days 5 and day 6 is when PGT testing, which is the of
Genetic testing.
embryos, yes,
Wow.
happens and it takes place. The embryologist goes ahead and they take a few cells from each embryo, and those are then sent over to a genetic testing company, such as, for example, the ones that we use are Juno Genomics, iGenomics, and Cooper Genomics. So those
Wow.
results are sent out, but the embryos are still frozen. So
Okay.
they're frozen in it and stored in storage. And then we wait for those results to come back to tell us if embryo number 4, 5, and 6 are abnormal, so we need to discard them, but embryos 1, 2, and 3 are normal, so we're going to keep them. So they're stored in liquid nitrogen in these huge tanks, and it's really amazing to see.
So now the abnormal ones, what are
Mhm.
those? Those carry like genetic, I guess
Genetic
genetic
disorders or
hereditary disorders.
diseases,
Okay.
yeah, they're missing chromosomes, so they can't be transferred. So there's a bunch of consents that need to be signed prior to the retrieval process. So what happens is the embryologists will go ahead and discard those embryos. Like I
And just,
said, it's a
yeah.
whole other world. And I think I was mentioning to you They don't teach you this stuff in nursing
No,
school.
they don't.
Yeah, you just explained it like an Instagram reel.
When I was in peds,
Right
ain't
to the
no
point.
an OBGYN, nobody broke it down to me like that.
Nobody does.
Nobody. So I mean, just the fact that how this is it might be science, but it's just miracle work. It's just like it's just miracle work to do this type of science. I don't know.
Yeah, but talking about science, they just had the embryo that was just from 1994. There's like
From
the
19
oldest. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Why don't you pull up?
Actually, you
Uh
guys
oh.
are incorrect on your fact. The
Well,
first
I'm just going by what the
Hold
news
on.
was
Wait a
telling us.
minute. Wait a minute.
It said it was
Post
so
it up.
it
Post
was.
it up.
I'm
Post it up.
going. I'm going. I'm getting the link
Post it
right
up
now.
because I want to make sure we get this right. Okay.
you have a baby born from a frozen embryo
That's what I
30
mean. That's what I meant.
years ago. But the first baby that was ever born from IVF was in England, and I believe it was 1972 or 1978.
Wow.
Yes.
That's crazy. So through this process, okay, so it says transfer day. So for this,
November.
okay, so for this particular one,
Oh,
this was a frozen embryo from 30 years ago that was
right.
retrieved. Wow.
Isn't that insane?
That's so
So
insane.
now is this related to like the family, or this is just like a donation embryo to them?
I don't know because I didn't get to read this article, but I'm assuming because
It was an
the
adopt
woman,
it was adopted one.
Okay.
it was an adopted embryo.
yeah, it was donated. Yeah, so they went ahead and did that process. So
Hmm.
that's insane. But just seeing how like this is still possible like you mentioned before like for the younger adults and the younger couples that are out there and they want to freeze their eggs this is gives you the possibility to do that.
Exactly. Not that you're gonna use it 30 years
No, I'm
later,
just
but
saying but I mean
exactly.
you know
Exactly. You can, it's frozen in time. It is frozen in time, which is quite interesting.
it was such a great I was like this is insane I was
So
like
You
I'm
want to?
assuming this is transferable.
Oh, yeah.
Like if somebody like you give it to somebody to your family, like if somebody else can't have it, like when they get older, they could probably transfer it to them, the
Yeah.
embryos to them, and I guess like in this case, adopt, which is
or use donated like one
yeah,
of the
which
cases
is
that Natasha
pretty
was talking
cool.
about before that they used donated eggs as well if it's viable and if it has a good place to chill why not. Sometimes they
Exactly.
get too comfy and they don't want to get out. That's what I've heard. But just to seeing this like these miracles happening and being able to help develop families, this is just something that I can't help but be happy. And I love that the fact that you're able to guide people and guide couples into this new journey in their life. This is the first part of it.
Exactly. This is
Imagine the next
before you get into labor and delivery.
right.
You know?
We're not even there yet.
No. No. I feel like there's like three sections and three parts. It's IVF, then OBGYN, and then labor and delivery.
Labor and delivery.
That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the way it's laid
That
out.
was the order.
Yeah.
That is the order. But like what is something that you wanted to have wish that more people would know about fertility? Like we understand that there's so many different mechanics behind it, but what would you want them to really know about fertility just in general?
It is so easy to check your fertility. All you need to do is go to your OBGYN, ask to do an ultrasound, say, "Hey, I want to see my follicle count." Your physician has the equipment to do it. All you have to do is schedule an appointment and then also ask to have your bloods drawn. So you want to look at your AMH level, which is the number one thing. But keep in mind that your AMH level fluctuates from month to month, just like your other
Just
hormones.
like any other hormone.
Exactly. But
Oh,
it gives you a good basis to
right,
see
right.
what you're working with. I had one patient do that and her AMH level was low. And she was like, Natasha, if you didn't tell me to go and take a look at, my ultrasound with my OBGYN and have my labs drawn, I would have never known and I would have never gotten to move forward with an IVF
Wow.
cycle because I didn't know.
Because you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. You go and have your
Yeah.
physical done every year, but you don't have an AMH level checked every year and whatnot. And rightfully so. You're 20 something years old. You think you're healthy and whatnot, but then you end up finding out you have diminished ovarian reserve at the age of 22. How?
Wow.
How? I have one patient that happened to. Yeah.
Wow. That's insane. And I think I
Yep.
think another thing is like when we do start taking your physicals, the same thing that happens to men and women when they have to take account into their health, right? When they get your 40s, right? Women in their 40s, they got to go do the mammograms. They got to do, everything to make sure we maintenance our health.
Right.
And I think the same thing for men. We got to get that prostate check. We got to do all these things, kind of maintenance and try to make sure that we're going in the right direction in terms of our health. So I think it's so important to
But
include.
first, you gotta make sure you're covered by the insurance.
Exactly. You
We're
gotta
gonna
make sure your
verify
insurance is
first.
gonna like cover all of it. You
I'm
know, a
dead.
$5,000 bill.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And the thing is that, you running this business and you being able to be the platform in order to educate and give the information. And it's just so it's a powerful platform to be on because
Right.
again, like not a lot of people are doing that. And I'm learning just sitting here about everything I can learn about it. And I was just like, I'm super excited about what your future looks like because there's so many things that we can help and support, especially in the health realm,
Right.
especially in the health realm. But I just want to know, how do you have this work life balance?
Oh,
Take a deep breath. We're going in.
friends and family.
Yeah.
Friends and family keeps me balanced, and vacations, little getaways. I get to go to Long Island with my family, just hang out and be with them, or just kick back with my cousins. And they're the ones who just ground me still. So if it wasn't for them, I don't know if there would be a work life balance.
It's crazy because I think to having the perspective from parents and other nurses, and I think this is such a great topic to talk about. It's such a great discussion.
Right.
How can we help spread the word? Like, what can we do to help each other? Like, education. It's really what it is. I think that's really what. And
It
and I can't,
definitely is.
and I can't, for me as a future nurse, I'm always constantly learning. Like, I don't know everything. I don't know nothing. That's what I always say.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. You got to go into everything with an open mind.
But in terms of like advocation, right? How do you continue to advocate for the community that you want to focus on? Or how do you see it in themselves in the clinical settings?
So when I do have a patient, let's say of a West Indian background, that comes into like the practice and whatnot, I get so happy first off. I get so happy and I reach out to them and we start talking. And then by the end of it, I'm like, so I just have a random question. Are you Guyanese? Are you Trini? Where are you from? And
Mhm.
then they'll be like, oh, I'm blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm Guyanese. And then I build a connection that way. And then anything that I can do, help or decipher for my patient, I'm 100% in there. And then if they need help with like medications and whatnot, like I'll send medications out to the cheapest pharmacy, because you guys don't know like how much IVF meds can cost. It could run you upwards from $4,000 to $8,000 out of pocket. So
Gosh. Oh my
Get that
gosh.
insurance, people.
Oh
Make
my,
sure it's covered.
so
oh my gosh.
there's medication discount programs that I send over to them. Some other patients donate their medications that they have left over, so I'll give them to like my patients. And then also there are grants that are available that people don't know about, so I'll send them the link and I'm like,
I didn't know that there was grants for that
That's
as well.
crazy.
I didn't even know
the
that.
more you know.
In the overpopulated world,
What?
Exactly.
we have grants.
What?
Exactly.
Oh my god, everybody has the right to build a family, whether it's through IVF or natural. Everybody has the right to do so. But is everybody equipped to do so? I don't know. But that's not my I'm
That's
not in
not
the position
for me
that's
to
I'm not
make
in the
that
position to
decision.
to say whether
Exactly. Exactly.
but
It's not up to me.
I feel like this is just such a great conversation. I would love to. Is there anything else in closing thoughts that you feel like you need to tell the audience, or if there's anything else that you want to share?
If anyone ever has any questions or any doubts, or if you're going through an IVF cycle or an egg freezing cycle currently, or if you're at a clinic and you just don't understand, reach out to me. Just reach out. And then I can help with regards to telling you what things mean, how to decipher like what the doctor is saying. I can go on like a Zoom meeting or a FaceTime call and show you how to inject your medications. I can come to your house and I can inject the medications and show you how to do it and have like that one-on-one experience. Like, I'm there. I want to be like your older cousin, that cousin that you call for everything.
I love
So
that.
let me be that person, let me help. And that's why I'm here. That's the reason why I started my platform.
Okay, I have a
I,
question.
yeah,
Has anybody invited you to their first birthday party? Like,
I just got invited to the first baby shower.
That must feel so nice.
Hmm.
Oh
you're gonna hold
man.
back the tears and come
It
with a
gets me
box
in
of
my heart
tissues.
right now. It gets me in my feels
Yeah.
right now. Oh
I
my
think there's going
god.
to
That's
be a
cool.
second baby shower coming up too that I'm invited to. So I'm just like,
Oh my god. I'm like little tearing right there. Sorry. I'm like, oh my god, that's
it
such a
is
great
the most
feeling.
beautiful thing to
Oh my
see somebody go from start to finish. You're hand holding them throughout the entire process, and then finally, like, they're coming to the point where they're about to give birth.
wow.
Wow.
I helped.
Waterworks.
I helped in
Waterworks.
that. It was me. I helped. That
Oh, that was all me. That bump.
was
Oh,
on her.
that was me.
I mean, I did that. I did that.
Yep.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's such a great feeling. Wow. Man,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm getting teary. I was like, oh my goodness.
I
That's
can't wait. I can't wait until that person gives birth. And I'm like, here you go. First baby from Fertility 411
oh man.
born.
Mm.
That was me. Yes.
That's the analytics you need all the time, right? Just
Yep.
give me the metrics. Boy or girl? Put the stick figure on. Keep it
It's
going.
actually a boy.
Oh,
Oh, it's a
nice,
boy?
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh
That
my god.
person did PGT testing. Like, it's a boy.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna
No
get this out the way.
surprise.
Oh my goodness. But
Yeah.
I just have one silly question. I just thought I
Sure.
wanted to
No
throw it out
question is
there.
a silly question, by the
So,
way.
what is the one myth about
Mhm.
fertility that you want to debunk?
Ooh. Okay.
I know
One myth.
that's a loaded question. I know.
That is such a loaded question. So the first myth that I have that I need to debunk is an IVF cycle takes months and months and months. Like, you're gonna be on hormones and you're gonna be on meds for maybe like 2-3 months, and you need to prep for it like 3 months ahead of time, and you need to detox, and you no, like, just change your lifestyle when it comes to like eating habits. Add some supplements like CoQ10, omega 3s. What else do we tell our patients? D3s, because a lot of women have low vitamin D levels. Just implement those things and like exercise. Just be a little bit healthy, and then go ahead and just go and push the green light go button on doing a consultation with a reproductive endocrinologist. See where it goes from there. If you feel like for whatever reason that physician ain't for you, or that clinic setting feels like a factory setting,
Mm-mm.
listen, there are hundreds of fertility clinics out there. Go find one that meets your needs and that you feel comfortable with, because at the end of the day, it's such an intimate thing
It
to
is.
go through.
It is.
You don't want to be going through an IVF cycle or an egg freezing cycle with a physician that's not going to be doing your retrieval, that's not going to be doing your ultrasounds. You're going to have like multiple nurses from this person's team reaching out to you. You don't have that one point of contact person. Find a clinic that works for you.
That's crazy. Oof, I know that it's so intimate. Now that
Mhm.
you said that, I was like, oh
Yeah,
my god, yeah, this is such an intimate thing, and it's the same thing with pediatrics and with OBGYN. You're
it is.
constantly a way to make sure that everything is going well. So you want to be able to make sure you have a good connection and a good relationship with your health
Exactly.
partners. You do, but Natasha, I don't know if there's anything else that you want to add because this has been a great conversation, and I'm just so happy we were
Fun.
able to talk about this because this is so important. Is there anything else you want to add?
Um, I think the last thing that I want to end on is you're not alone.
Mm,
You're not alone. If you're going through it, you may feel like you're alone and you don't have the support and you don't have anyone to talk to, but believe me and trust what I say. so many people are going through it, and they just silence themselves, and they're not talking about it, and it's such a taboo thing to speak about. And I want to take that little taboo veil off and make it more of like a more common thing to speak about, because people aren't talking about it. I feel like the more that we talk about it, the more that we talk about IVF, egg freezing, or just fertility in general, the more it'll be normalized. And we have all of these celebrities that are talking about their journeys and stuff to help trickle it down into just like the modern society and us talking about it. And it's slowly happening. But even within like my community or like our communities and stuff like that, it's still taboo.
It's still taboo. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I went to a barbecue, and I talk about my egg freezing journey and like me doing 2 cycles on my own very freely, very like nonchalantly. And I had an auntie say to me, "Well, why did you do that? Why don't you just try
Really?
to, yeah, why did
Wow.
you do that? Why do you have to do that?" And I'm like, because at the time I was not in a relationship. I was not waiting to be in a relationship. And I was like, I don't want this taken away from me. I don't want it stripped away. Well, you wouldn't really know. This is what you say. Well, you wouldn't really know unless like you actually tried to get pregnant. I was like, and
Oh,
what if I did try and I don't
And
get
it doesn't
pregnant?
happen. Yeah.
wasn't successful.
I was
Wow.
like, first off, like at that point, like I didn't need a man. If I need to do it on my own, I could have done it on my own and whatnot. So I brought up like donor sperm and stuff, and boy, did I cause a ruckus at this barbecue. When my mom heard me
You
talking
disruptor.
about it, yes, I disrupted the peace. And my mom like jumped in on the conversation. She's like, "My daughter can do whatever she wants, and I support
Oh,
her. She's running her own business, and she's doing this and she's doing that." She's like, "And if she wants to freeze more eggs, she can go ahead and she can do it." And I'm like,
High five, girl.
like, yes, I can. But yeah, like I brought up these options to like the older crowd, and they were just like,
they were looking at you
like
with
I'm
you
like,
had like
Yeah.
two
um,
heads. Wow.
you don't know.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
It's a
know how
maybe
hard
it's
it
a
is out
generational
here.
thing, and I think
It
because
is.
I know in our family, our grandparents and our great grandparents, they come from large families, 12, 13, 14, 15 members.
They didn't have TV back in the
They didn't
day.
have TV back then.
Exactly.
So, to come from larger families and now coming into this day and age, not many people are having children, and I don't know
Right.
if it's a financial thing. I don't know
It is a
if
financial
a
thing,
choice
you
that
know.
no, I'm
Like,
just
It
saying. I'm just saying it
nowadays,
can
so
be
many
so
it's
many
expensive
different
out
things.
things.
there.
Everything's so
It's
expensive.
expensive.
It is. Do you know how much diapers are
Ugh.
I
And they
don't
come
even.
less in the box. They made the box smaller.
now?
Box
I
ones.
think, although like I currently know 11 people that are pregnant, most of them are having boys, by the way, FYI, fun fact. Only 2 of the 11 people that I know are having girls. I don't think that people like there's like a problem with our generation having a pregnancy right now, or being pregnant, or having a child.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And I think it's just a matter of choice, being able to have the ability to make that choice, whether you do want children or you don't. I think that we're all available to make our own decisions. But, you know, to be questioned about what you want to do to your own body, I think that's a little weird, but that's just me. Like, I can't tell me what I
Yeah,
can and cannot do in my body. I don't know what that means. It's a little weird. But, again, as a nursing student, I can understand the different perspectives. How people decide that they're not going to take their diabetic medication and just not knowing the consequences. No, you do know the consequences.
yeah, your foot's gonna be amputated.
So we're dealt with what the situations we have, and we just got to go with the flow, I guess. But you, of all people, should know that. I mean, you've been in the field, so you already know. Yes, but Natasha, I can't thank you enough for being a part of this. I mean, anytime you want to come back, let's talk more. But I can't tell you so much. I had such a great time. I hope you had a great time. This is a
That was so much fun as my first
Yay!
podcast. I can't wait to do another one with you.
Yeah, and you're gonna have so much fun because now you're gonna get right into the nick of it, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, this is what I'm gonna do." It's gonna be so much fun. You get to use your platform. You can
Right,
continue to use it, educate others, and do exactly what we're doing. And
right.
then you're just throwing it out all that information because people need to know. People need to know. But
People
I
do.
can't thank you enough for being on the podcast. And guys, you can go check her out. You're gonna have all that information on our links. Again, this is Table for Four. I'm your host, Stephanie,
Andre,
and
And
we will see
Natasha.
you, Natasha.
do you have an Instagram or anything like Instagram?
Yeah, so my business Instagram account is fertility411. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram, and then the website is being
Being
launched
worked on.
soon.
Yeah, she got enough on her plate.
Yeah,
She got enough on her plate. Just go check her socials, please. Go check out her socials. Cause
yeah,
she's over here. She's trying to do big things.
I
So
do miracles.
she's trying to do miracles. You
yeah.
know, that's what nurses usually do anyway.
Do
Work
the Lord's
miracles.
work.
But thank you so much. And guys, we will see you on the next one. Take care. Have a good night,
Bye.
y'all.